This week, Biblical Shakers will be reading Hosea, chapters 4 through 7. The major and minor prophets spent most of their time trying to tell their people to turn from their evil ways, rid themselves of their idols, and turn towards the God of Israel. Hosea did the same. He tried to explain why the Lord was rejecting them. In chapter 4, the religious leaders had failed to turn the people to God. They began worshiping the wrong way, with even the spiritual leaders preaching wrong teachings and directions. Before long, they had substituted Baal for God and no longer worshiped God at all. The nation had declined spiritually and morally, breaking the laws that God had given them. The people found it easy to condemn Hosea's wife for her adultery, but were not so quick to see that they had been unfaithful to God. With both their civil and religious leaders hopelessly corrupt, the people of Israel did not have much of a chance. Persistent sin hardens a person's heart, making it difficult to repent. Deliberately choosing to disobey God can sear the conscience. Each sin makes the next one easier to commit. Don't allow sin to groove a hard path within you. We see that the people did not understand the depth of their sins. They did not turn from the idols or regret their sins or pledge to make changes. They thought God's wrath would only last a few days. Little did they know that their nation would soon be taken into exile. Israel was interested in God only for the material benefits that he provided. They did not value the eternal benefits that come from worshiping him. In chapter 6, one of Hosea's key themes is that Israel had broken the covenant God had made with them at Mount Sinai. God wanted to make this nation a blessing and a light to all the nations, but God could not depend on his own people. If the people obeyed him, they would be granted many blessings, but if they broke the covenant, they would suffer severe punishment. And they should have known this. When faced with the opportunity to sin, remember that God sees everything. Surround yourself with those whose ethics and morals are on the same page as you. Hosea tried to straighten them out, but they preferred to be substandard. We, like Israel, often call on God to ease our pain without wanting him to change our behavior. Without God's direction, our thoughts are filled with lust, cheating, selfishness, and deceit. As long as we are warped by sin, we will never reach our true potential. Look first to heaven, to the Most High God. He will meet your spiritual needs. Heather has written the devotions for this week. And next week, we will read about the judgment of Israel in chapters 8 through 10. Remember, Biblical Shakers will make reading the Bible more enjoyable for you. And I pray that the Lord will put a hunger on your heart.